Governor DeSantis' top deputies ordered a health department lawyer to threaten Florida TV stations with criminal prosecution for running political ads supporting abortion rights in the state constitution. The Florida Department of Health General Counsel John Wilson said he was given pre-written letters from one of DeSantis' lawyers on October 3rd and then told to send them under his own name. He wrote this in a sworn affidavit that came out in court documents on Monday. He never participated in the discussions about the letters, but Wilson sent them anyway, and that led to the controversy that eventually led to a federal court ruling telling the state to stop threatening TV stations. And then Wilson abruptly quit a couple of days later, saying he is nothing without his conscience.
The question obviously is going to be, was this at the direction of the governor or just the governor's lawyers? But either way, the problem here is it's an obvious First Amendment violation, and you just don't want, and I don't care who's in power, Republicans, Democrats, doesn't matter to me, you don't want the governor or his administration to be telling TV stations what ads they can and cannot air under threat of criminal prosecution.
What was their justification for it? Like what?
I think misleading or something like that. I mean,
which is every political
ad. These ads
crazy.
are ridiculous. A lot of them that you see. I mean, it's a bunch of nonsense in them. But this was going,
way too far.
Way too far. And again, I don't care if it's DeSantis or whoever it is. I'd be saying the same exact thing. You can't have the power of government telling TV stations what ads you can and can't air, again, under threat of criminal prosecution.
I'm not sure who gave the order, but I think it's the same guy who wanted to sell out our state parks. Because,
you think?
Yeah, I think they're the same guy. What do you think?
That's right. Yeah, maybe. You might be right. But that's the next question. Who ordered the code red?
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're going to have to find out. All right, what else is going on this morning, Chris?
So the preference from Major League Baseball is to keep the Tampa Bay Rays playing in the Tampa Bay area pending a full assessment of the damage to Tropicana Field. Rob Manfred, the Major League Baseball commissioner, said that he would like to see the team stay in the immediate area if possible. Meanwhile, discussions and decisions to address that issue are going to follow official evaluations of what's going on with the Trop. Some people talked about the Trop as being maybe an option as an outdoor stadium, but we've since learned that because of drainage issues, you can't do that. It's not like open air stadiums where they have a lot of drainage under the turf,
right?
So that when it rains, it doesn't turn into mud or have pools of water. The Trop is an indoor park, and that's just the way it has to be. Yeah,
well, in Miami, where the Marlins play, it's a retractable roof, so they have the ability to close the roof if the conditions get rough, or they can keep it open when it's really nice, and that's one of the benefits. That's why I think all ballparks where you're dealing with this kind of stuff, especially in a climate like Florida where you've got the heat, you've got the rainstorms during a big portion of the season, retractable roof is more expensive, but it makes the most sense. The Trop was just a dome with no drainage system and a really big problem. And I guess some of the minor league ballparks across the Tampa Bay area where the Rays could potentially play, I don't know how that works with the teams who play there.
I guess you kick them out and make them play in the Little League parks.
Yeah. Or have the Rays play in the Little League parks.
Right. The Yankees, they play at Steinbrenner Field in Tampa, and that obviously would be a perfect setup for the Rays, especially, with a little bit of a larger capacity. But I don't know, what are the Yankees going to do then? And
it's a mess. I mean, there's no question. And this is something that could go on for more than just one season. Mm-hmm. And then the question is, do you really want to repair the Trop if you're going to demolish it a couple of years later?
Yeah.
But it's, a serious problem for the Rays because, they depend on revenue from a major league park, not a minor league park or even maybe the one over in Orlando that Disney has. Mm-hmm. Those are facilities that can accommodate the games within, certain limitations, but it's just not going to give them the full experience that they want, and it's not going to give them the revenue they want.
Yeah, the Disney park probably makes the most sense overall. Although I'm telling you, I thought my idea of the Marlins play a few games and the Rays play a few games, and then you combine all of that, and they've got the attendance of one Major League Baseball team. I think that Makes a lot of sense
Yeah,
for both markets.
People from the Tampa Bay area are really going to drive to Miami to see the Rays. They
What's
won't
the
drive to
attendance?
St. Pete, but they'll drive to Miami.
Or fly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, what would be the attendance of the Rays if they played down there?
Like 3,000-4,000. But then you add
3,000 or 4,000?
Yeah,
You'd be lucky.
But
in your
I
dreams.
thought you were just going to say 3 or 4.
then you add that to the 3,000 or 4,000 the Marlins pull, and all of a sudden you got a little something going on down there. So
Okay. Well, it's clearly something they're going to be discussing, and they have to discuss it quick.
Yeah.
Because you got spring training coming up soon, and then they got this, the season starts in March, and here we are, coming up on November. So
Right.
it's a real problem. But, the commissioner did make a statement on it saying he'd like to see them stay in this, region at the very least.
you also wonder how that impacts what they're able to do in the offseason. Like if you're a Major League Baseball player, do you want to sign with the Rays? I mean, if you don't have a lot of options, then fine. But if you do, and you have no idea where you're going to play or how that's going to work,
Play for a team that doesn't have a park anymore.
yeah.
Well, maybe they like the new park better.
Yeah, maybe. I think that could complicate things too.
Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton will stop in Tampa 3 days before the general election. Hurricanes postponed a previously scheduled appearance. The former First Lady was originally scheduled to be in Tampa on the 15th of October. Now her visit to the Straz Center in Tampa has been moved to November 2nd.
Right, and we've got a lot of work to do ahead of this because, remember, we were talking about, we know so many of you listening right now want to be part of the Hillary Clinton event, and we have got to find a way. We need like a VIP experience, and maybe we could set something up now because I'm sure so many of our listeners in Miami are excited about this too.
They want to make the road trip.
Yeah. Maybe we could do a flight and a whole experience for you down in South Florida. I mean, this is huge for our audience. Hillary Clinton coming to the state, and we want to make sure you're there and you get to hear everything that she has to say and just take that all in. It's going to be a night you'll never forget.
Yeah, she's going to sit down with the moderator to discuss politics, democracy, personal topics like friendship, aging, and the big one, marriage.
Oh, that should be fascinating. Boy, who wouldn't want to be at that event? All right, we're going to move heaven and earth to make sure that as many of you listening as possible.
Caller number 9.
Yes, get to see and maybe even meet and hang with Hillary Clinton. Maybe we could do an after event party or something like that. You know,
you're going to need a drink after that.
All right, Chris Trenkmann with today's top stories. Chris, thanks so much.
Thank you.